Hello guys and girls, and welcome back. It's your boy Big John, and I'm here today to show you the power of the midweek reversal. So first and foremost, if you have not joined my free Telegram group, the link is in the description below. It is right over here, and you can see straight away this is why I give out free gold analysis every single week. So this week we actually had a fantastic gold trade setup. And this is exactly what I wrote here, explaining what we could be expecting from gold, especially the fact that we had CPI news within this current trading week. When we go over to the image, you can see what I did explain before about daily breaks of structure. We had a daily break of structure here, then we was expecting a pullback, and then we was expecting a continuation. Now, usually I do love for price action to go towards the levels I actually mark up with the demand levels, but there was also a daily demand level around the 1868 level, and that's where we saw a buy trade setup from. And when we actually come over to this picture, this is exactly what happened after. You can see straight away price action did the pullback, and then we saw the continuation of the buy trade going up all the way to this level here. It actually went past the designated take profit level for about 400 to 500 pips. This was an absolute monster of a trade, people. Okay, so with all that good stuff out of the way, let's get straight into today's lesson. So we're going to be paying attention to the midweek reversal. Now, this picture I have shown you before, and it is an amazing way to understand how the market can move within one said trading week. Now, there are other patterns the market can do. There's actually 2 more patterns, but I do go through that much more in my lifetime access, no monthly subscription VIP service. But today we're going to focus on the midweek reversal. So you can see usually with a midweek reversal, you'll get a consolidation period on Monday, you'll get the manipulation on Tuesday, and then you'll get the high or low of the week on Wednesday. Now, after you have the high or the low of the week, you should get a bit of a consolidation, and then you're going to get what we call the midweek reversal through Thursday to Friday. Now, I do want people to understand that this will not be the exact same days every single time it does occur. What tends to happen is that the high or low of the week can usually form between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Sometimes it even happens on a Friday, and very few times does it actually appear on a Monday. But usually if you do see this pattern, then it is great for you. Now I'm going to show you exactly how, using the Neo indicator, you'll be able to spot these type of setups, and you're going to be able to make some type of scalping profits on a weekly basis with this. So right now we are on Neo, the indicator expert advisor, and this is on MT4. Now, this is an absolutely fantastic product because there are so many updates I've been adding to this. It's making trading absolutely easy, and you have the option to be able to switch on and off whatever you do need to use in terms of your trading setup. So today we're just going to be paying attention to clear, price action, and the automatic support and resistance setup that Neo does provide for you. So this is AUD CAD, and this is one of the pairs that actually did a midweek reversal, and you can see with the new rejection line update, we actually have bank level historical data showing us how many times there was a rejection off of this daily level or anyone that is printed, and it also tells you how many times. With this whole setup, there's also alerts you can switch on. So MT4 can send an alert to the screen you're looking at or to your mobile phone to tell you price action has gotten to that level. Now, you can trade the perfect entries off of these levels. As you can see here, there was no drawdown whatsoever. I want to make it very clear as well. These lines are actually printed from the start of the week. So as soon as the week starts and market opens, these lines will be going throughout the whole chart, so they never repaint and they're always there. As well as you can actually switch on any time frames you like to look at. I prefer to look at the daily and weekly because it gives me a good idea of rejections. So again, we can see price action came up to this level here. We saw a 4-hour break of structure here on Neo, which again is also multi-time frame. So you can see multiple time frames on one chart with break of structures in Neo. And then we saw something called a turncoat appear, as you can see from this right in here. Now, what a turncoat actually is when an old support becomes a new resistance. So this was previously a 1-hour support and it became a new resistance. And now when we look at this setup, we can see how great this was. So price action broke through this level, making it a new possible resistance. And as soon as it broke through this level, you pretty much could have got in from the breakout. And then as simple as that, you would have had yourself about a 20 pip take profit. And what is also fantastic with Neo is pretty much everything is built towards having multi-time frame functionality, meaning that you can see multiple time frames with the indicator setups and displays on one chart. So here you can see I have H1 liquidity, but I also have on H4 liquidity here. So when I'm looking for a take profit level, I could easily just zoom out of the chart and look for any previous liquidity, buy or sell side, that hasn't been grabbed. So right now we're going to be looking for sell side liquidity. If we did enter here on the trade setup, we can see that this was a 1-to-1 trade because our stop loss would have been 20 pips, which would have been behind the box. And right here is our first take profit level. We can see there's another take profit level down here as well, which is H4. So again, if I entered from here, we can see straight away, this would have been a 57 pip trade setup, meaning we would have had a nice 1-to-2 trade. Perfect for us. Now that I've got all of that out of the way, let's just go through a bunch of trades that actually did appear like that this week. It was CPI, so there was a lot of volatility, but this just shows you what can happen when you are waiting for Neo Strategy 2 setups. This is going to be based more around Neo Strategy 1 as time goes on. And if price action doesn't hit our buy and sell stops with Neo Strategy 2, then with Neo Strategy 1, if you start to see a midweek reversal, here's how you can also still make money in those slower day or swing trading weeks. With this setup, you can easily catch some good scalps. So right over here again, you can see AUD CHF. We had our 4-hour break of structure here. You can also see that there was a rejection off of this daily level as well. There was a break of this level, which would have been verified. It turned to a turncoat, and then again, our entry would have just been at the bottom of this box, which was perfect for us. Our entry would have been at the bottom of this box pretty much this time, and then our stop loss would have been just at the top, which is 20 pips. And then of course, this did more than 40 pips for a 1-to-2 trade setup. Again, like I've told you, just zoom out, and when you zoom out, you will actually be able to see previous liquidity. So there was a liquidity zone down here, and from your possible entry, that was about 50 pips. So this was more than a 1-to-2 trade setup. And here's AUD JPY. So you can see price action rejected at these levels up here, which was weekly levels. We saw a sell back down, a 4-hour break of structure. As soon as this turncoat did appear here, your entry could have easily been at the bottom of this box, stop loss above here, which is 14 pips. And then we have a take profit level down here, which was 97 pips. So this was like a 1-to-5 setup, and this actually happened in one clean day of trading. Now what you can actually see here again is the same thing. Look at this perfect entry from here, which was 3 rejections on a daily time frame previously. So this didn't just appear as soon as price got here. This was here from the beginning of the week, telling you there was 3 bank level rejections from this area, 64450. And again, after that, we saw a break of structure here on the 4-hour. We would have been able to get in right at the bottom of this box, or if not, there was a rejection level in this box. Again, another level that's been hit 3 times before on a daily time frame in previous history. And we can see this was a perfect entry from here, no drawdown. And again, this was a 70 pip trade with a 10 pip stop loss. And now we're on CAD CHF. We can see here the midweek reversal started from a Tuesday. Price action actually broke this level here, which was a turncoat level, but now turned into a verified level, of course, because price action was hitting it a few times. And we easily had an entry from the bottom of the box here. Our stop loss would have been about 20 pips, and we can see price action has done 40 pips. So this gave us a nice 1-to-2 RR trade setup. And right over here, we are on CFJPY, and we see the same thing again. The midweek reversal this time started from Tuesday. We saw price action broke through this level here, which is a verified level now, but it was a turncoat before. And then we see a 4-hour break of structure. We can see our entry would have been here, stop loss below this level here, which was 33 pips. And then price action went up towards this liquidity here, which was a 100 pip trade. This was a 1-to-3 RR trade. When we head over to Euro AUD, so this was one that happened a bit later with price. So we can see all of our 4-hour breaks of structure here. We can also see the perfect entry that came from this rejection level right down here. And then at the same time, we can even see more breaks of structure, even a daily break of structure as well. And there's a turncoat that appeared right here. Your entry would have been around about here. This is about a 42 pip stop loss, and we've managed to see about a 42 pip trade. So right now, this would have been a 1-to-1. This happened on Friday, but price action can still go up towards a 1-to-2 coming into Sunday, Monday market open. Okay, now we are on Euro NZD, and it's the same thing. Look at this perfect entry rejection from this level here. This was a daily 3-time rejection level. We can see there. We see the double bottom here. So this was the midweek reversal. We see it happen on Wednesday, a 4-hour break of structure. Price action even gave you a possible rejection level entry from here, which was a 2-time daily rejection level as well. But if you waited for the turncoat, you would have got in here. Price action pulled back to this 2-time daily rejection level, and then from this level with about a 23 pip stop loss, you was able to catch yourself a 114 pip trade all the way up towards this liquidity over here. When we head over to Euro USD, again, look at this perfect entry here, just a little bit of drawdown. How much pips was this? So this was only about 4 pips drawdown around this area here. And you can see there was a 4-hour bearish break of structure here. A turncoat level appeared. You would have got in at the bottom of this box. You had a stop loss of about 22 pips. And this trade setup actually went about 77 pips all the way down here. It obviously breached this liquidity here on the H1 as well. So you definitely had more than a 1 to 2 hour trade setup. And when we come over to Euro CAD, again, you had a perfect rejection off of this daily level, which was a 3-time rejection area. You had your midweek reversal happen on a Thursday, and then you see price action even pull back to this level to give you a sell trade. Now, this was actually a verified level, which was a verified level at least one time before you had the second retest. So you could have even got in from here if you actually chose to, with your stop loss above this level. We already know this is a 3-time rejection level, so it was a good chance that price would not break this level again to give you even a longer risk to reward trade. But if not, you would have just had to wait for this turncoat. And you can see here price action did pretty much an aggressive candle through here, so it wouldn't have been the best trade setup. Of course, this top area here would have been the best, but hey, you're not going to have the perfect setups all the time, and I want you to understand that, guys and girls. You can actually be very versatile with this, and this is part of the reason why Neo is not a monthly subscription, and also why it's lifetime access. Is here for you to become a better trader over a period of time, not just to make all this money in one day. When we come over to Euro CHF, we can see straight away we had our rejection at this point here, which was a 2-time rejection daily level, and then we also see 4-hour bearish breaks of structure. The midweek reversal actually started from the Tuesday here, and then we do see a turncoat area did appear here. So we would have got in at the bottom of this box. This was about a 12 pip stop loss, and then of course price action did sell about 80 pips, giving us more than a 1 to 5 hour trade setup. And right over here is GBP ORD. So again, we had a perfect entry this time from this daily 2-time rejection level. We can see straight away price action did buy up, and then we've seen price action eventually created a 4-hour break of structure. This verified level was a turncoat level like this before, and then what actually happened is price action pulled back here. You can even see there's a rejection level here telling you there's a good chance price can react off of this level, of course, because this other level here, which is a turncoat now, was again a verified resistance level. This is why we saw price action pulling back, but eventually it did break it. And you can see if your entry was here and your stop loss was below here, this was about 40 pips, and then price action actually brought up around about 147 pips. So this was definitely much more than a 1 to 2 RR trade. It was at least a 1 to 3. So this is another one which is more of a variation. We can see again that price action rejected off of this rejection level, which is a 2-time daily rejection level. And this is why I said, you know, you can clearly see why I have these lines on my chart. It's not just to be extra or to create noise, it's so you can actually see what's going on behind the chart. Perfect entry from here again if you did manage to get in from there, but this is where the high of the week was formed, and then we can see there's a rejection that went all the way down, 4-hour bearish break of structure, and this time there was a turncoat down here, but we can see this isn't the best candle that actually gave us an entry, as it's nowhere near the bottom of this box here. And of course, if you entered down here, you would have obviously had a much bigger stop loss. But if you do look at this area here, this is where there was a rejection. So after that 4-hour break of structure and the weekly high was formed, we can see price actually continued to sell. Then it pulled back to this multiple rejection level that we can see here, even a weekly 3 times rejection level. So when you've seen a candle even like this, you could easily have said, okay, my stop loss is going to be above this area here, which is where the rejection level above this multiple area of rejections is. And then you would have easily been able to catch yourself a 100 pip trade. Okay, so now this is GBP JPY, and there is no turncoat here on GBP JPY, but it's like what I've said before. So look at this pretty much perfect rejection from this area. So between this zone up here and this zone up here, this could have literally been your box area. So this is also what I do with this new update. I will draw myself a box between these two areas, and if we just mark this out, this was literally about a 30 pip stop loss from that area. If you entered from the second tap of this area and this rejection here, you now would have been able to catch yourself a 239 pip trade. Now, of course, there was no 4-hour break of structure, so maybe you didn't want to enter there. When there was a 4-hour break of structure at this level here, there was a pullback to this rejection level here, which is a daily 1-time rejection. And then if you just put yourself a nice box between here and here, if you're scalping, now you've got yourself a 26 pip stop loss for a 97 pip trade. I'm sure you're starting to get the idea of this. So you can use the turncoats to help you, and I do suggest yes, you do, because those are showing you major structure has been broken on the 1 hour time frame. But of course, even if you want to go a bit further and become a bit more advanced, you can actually pay attention to the spaces in between the rejection areas and use them for buy and sell opportunities after you've seen a 4 hour break of structure or even a daily break of structure. Now here's GBP New Zealand, and again we had a perfect entry here from the daily time frame 2-time rejections on NEO. We can see that a 4 hour break of structure did happen here. The midweek reversal happened on the Wednesday. We had a turncoat level here which is now verified, so if you entered here and then you had your stop loss below this level, this was about 40 pips, we might as well call it that, and then price action bought all the way up for about 230 pips. It obviously hit the liquidity, which is a H1 here, and there was also buy side liquidity up here, which was H4. You had 2 take profit levels and they were both hit with some extra. Now we're on GBP USD and it's the same thing here. So we didn't get a perfect rejection off of this top level here, but again, what I've told you before, if you also look at these areas as zones in between them, there was a zone here and price action actually held this zone. So that's technically like another support area. We see price action sold down, created a 4 hour break of structure and a turncoat level. We had an entry right at this box here, a stop loss of about 38 pips, might as well call this 40 pips, and price action actually sold down 120 pips. So this was a 1 to 3R trade setup by Friday. And NZD CAD. So again, look at this perfect entry off of this level here for this rejection. Imagine once you get better and better at understanding how this works, you literally could have caught yourself a massive reversal for a midweek setup. Now we can see over here there was a 4 hour break of structure there, even another one here, one more here, and we had our first turncoat appear here. So price action didn't even give you an entry at this first turncoat, so that's fine. We had a second part of a turncoat that did appear here. You had an entry here, a stop loss of about 20 pips, and price action actually sold down about 84 pips. Now when we come over to NZDCHF, again a perfect rejection off of this daily level here, and then we can see a 4 hour break of structure. We can see a turncoat level here. Our entry would have been here, stop loss above this box which is 20 pips, and then we had at least a 100 pip trade setup. Now when we pay attention to NZDJPY, again look at this perfect rejection off of this daily level. This was a 2-time rejection area, and we can see price sold down, came back here. So even the fact that you saw this rejection off of this level the second time, this was a good indication that this level could be held, and you could have even possibly got yourself an entry from here all the way down here for a sell. Not only that, again you have the automatic support and resistance printed for you, and this was a 3-time rejection level. So this was actually the 3rd rejection here. So at this point it would have said 2 at this retest area, and you could have even got in right here with your stop loss above here for this massive sell trade. If you didn't want to risk that, then you could have just been a bit more patient, waited for the 4 hour break of structure, and of course you could have got in right here with your stop loss above here for about 15 pips, and then price went all the way down here for 148 pips. So this was more than a 1 to 5R trade setup. This was actually beautiful. NZD USD, again look at this perfect rejection from this level here, a 2-time daily level. So we're seeing a very big confluence with 2-time daily levels, and this is why I've said over a period of time it's only going to get better and better. Like you've seen in this video, when price action has got to a rejection level which is daily and there's been 2 times worth of rejection, especially if you're seeing it on a Wednesday, Thursday, then that could be indicating the high or the low of the week for a possible reversal to catch yourself a nice perfect entry. Now when we do pay attention to the turncoat that's actually here, we can see price action gave us an entry here. Our stop loss would have been around about 20 pips up here, and then we had a massive sell trade for about 100 pips. We can also see that there is a liquidity H1 here, and this is where your TP target could be. Again, you can zoom out and see other higher time frame levels of liquidity or even lower. And if we come over to silver, so we can see that price action pretty much created its midweek reversal from the Monday. So this is what I'm telling you, that sometimes it does change how it happens. We can see the low of the week was on Monday. Price action did create multiple 4 hour bullish breaks of structure. We can also see that price action created a turncoat here, and when it created a turncoat you had an entry here, a stop loss below this place here for 25 pips, and price action went up about 40 pips. So this was almost a 1 to 2 trade setup, just a little bit shy of that, but it was a very nice trade setup if you are someone that only trades metals and maybe indexes as well. When we come over to gold, it is a little bit more different. So remember, I always do my analysis, and if you've got NEO plus the analysis, you have a good chance of finding trade setups if it doesn't exactly exactly hit the supply and demand areas, especially if you start to see price action moving in its intended direction. Now you could say to yourself, where could there be a secondary entry? So we see price action has broken through this turncoat here on the 30-minute chart. We still have our 4-hour breakout structure here, and this is where you could have easily had your entry right here, and you only had a 17 pip stop loss for a 460 pip trade. This is why I said gold was an absolute monster. So guys and girls, I want to leave this here. It is a very simple system to use, and trust me, do not feel overwhelmed with the fact you might see loads of lines on the chart or loads of support and resistance. Trust me, over a period of time you'll be fine, and I'm here to help you every single step of the way, and any one of the VIP students or the Neo users can testify for that. You can easily join the free group and ask any single person there apart from me, is the product good? And this is people that have already paid for this service. So right now there is currently a deal on Neo where until the 13th of November you are able to get Neo for 100 Great British pounds, and there's only 23 more slots left. As soon as that is done, people, the price will be going back up to 150 GBP for lifetime access, no monthly subscriptions. Also, when you join the service, you're going to get all of these VIP services you can see on the screen at the moment right over here. Now, with all that being said, guys and girls, I'm going to leave this there. I hope you did love this video. I know it is showing a product, but you have to understand this is what I'm trading every week. There's no point me always showing you TradingView stuff. I am using that stuff as well, but this is what makes me profitable using TradingView with Neo. And on top of that, I've done over 200 odd videos just showing TradingView setups alone. So right now it's time to show you the growth and what I've actually created to help me with trading. On that note, guys and girls, I will leave it there. It is your boy Big John, and I'm out. Easy.
Started from the bottom like Drake. Got that young ruler, but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.